simply surprising.
Yes, however is it possible for a lady to...
All right, good afternoon. Welcome to beginner yoga. My name is Lydia, and I'm going to guide you through this practice. And I'd like for you to have a few blocks and maybe just a kitchen chair close by. And I'm going to give you a few moments to get those items, maybe a blanket. And we're just going to start our practice with some seated breathing. So I'll give you a few moments to grab those, and we'll meet here in seated. So as we begin our practice, I'd like for you to start by just grounding down through your sits bones and beginning to lift up through the crown of your head. Have the option here of closing the eyes or just giving a nice soft gaze toward the floor. And then go ahead and draw your shoulders up, back, and down. Moving them away from the ears. Begin by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. And then continuing here, breathing in and out through the nose. Paying attention to the quality of the breath. And let's move into three-part breathing from here. On your next inhale, start to fill your lungs. So filling the lower lobes of the lungs, the middle lobes of the lungs, and all the way up to the top of the lungs. And as you exhale, reverse that. So we're emptying the upper lobes, the middle lobes, and the lower lobes of the lungs. And as you reach the lower lobes of the lungs, drawing your navel toward your spine. Continue here, filling the lower, middle, and upper lungs on your inhale. And reversing on the exhale as you gently draw the navel toward the spine. Allow your exhales to become slightly longer than your inhales. And we'll just take maybe 3 or 4 more breaths from here. Gently blinking the eyes open. Give a few shoulder rolls here. And then go ahead and switch your feet so that the opposite foot is in front. Bring your hands to your knees. And on your next exhale, drop your chin to chest. And we'll just work this curvature in the neck here. So inhaling ear to shoulder, exhaling to center, and inhaling toward the other side. Keep your shoulders relaxed. We're just moving the head here. Keep breathing. And then maybe hang out here with the right ear over the right shoulder. Draw your left shoulder back and down. Create a little extra space here. Breathe into the neck. And then turn your gaze to look towards your mat. Breathe. Lift the gaze on your next inhale and then turn to face the center. Exhale as you turn to gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop your chin to chest. Inhale, roll your left ear to left shoulder. Draw back and down. Create that extra space. Breathe. And then turn to gaze towards your mat, a little different area here in the neck. Breathe. Lift your gaze. Turn back to center. Exhale as you gaze over the right shoulder. And then inhale back to center from here. All right, so let's go ahead and come off of the blanket. And we'll use the blanket actually under the knees. We're going to go ahead and come into tabletop position here. So we're going to have knees under the hip bones and wrists directly under the shoulders. All right. You can keep your toes tucked if you like, or untuck them, whatever feels good to you. Spread your fingers nice and wide from here, and then take a look towards the top of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale as you draw your navel toward your spine. So we're starting to protect the low back with a nice firm belly here. A few cat-cow movements. Inhale as you start to lift up through the heart. Gaze forward. Exhale, bring your chin to chest. Round your spine. Press down through the palms of the hands and fingertips and tuck your tailbone. Inhale, make your way back to neutral. Let's do that twice more. So exhale as you draw your navel towards your spine. Protect your low back here. Inhale, start to lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round your spine. Press down through the hands and fingertips. Drop your tailbone. Inhale, come back to neutral. We'll go one more round. Exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale, lift up through your heart, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round your spine. Tuck your tailbone, press down into the hands and fingertips. And then inhale, back to neutral. From here, exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. Keep your arms nice and long and your ears in line with your arms. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale. Press your hips back into active child's pose. Nice long arms here. Arms are extended. Little twist. So I want you to take your left hand and come out to the side here with the left hand and start to reach your left fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, slide that left arm through. So we're going to make our way onto the shoulder here and onto the head. So you can keep your right hand where it's at, or if you'd like a little extra stretch and you're not feeling any strain in the neck and shoulders, you can start to reach this right hand for the top of your mat. Try to relax your head the best you can, and we'll take 3 breaths from here. One more breath. Slide your right hand back under your right shoulder. On your next inhale, press into that right hand. Slide your left arm back through. Reach your left fingertips towards the ceiling, and then exhale, make your way back into your tabletop position. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, press the hips back. Nice active child's pose, long arms, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, press back. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, press back one more time. Inhale into tabletop position, and let's do the other side. So inhale from here. Exhale, draw your navel in. We're going to inhale, reach right fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide that right arm through. Come to head and arm, shoulder here. Find your best place. Relax your head the best you can. And if it feels good to you, maybe reaching that left hand towards the top of your mat. Adjust yourself wherever you feel comfortable for 3 breaths. On your last exhale, slide that left hand back under the left shoulder. On your next inhale, gently press into that hand. Slide your right arm back through, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, come on back down into your tabletop position, and we'll do our table to child a few times from here. Inhale here at center, looking towards the top of your mat. Exhale, press the hips back, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, press back. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, press the hips back. And then slide your hands back. Go ahead and bring the tip of your forehead to your mat. So come to where you're most comfortable. And then we're just gonna slide the arms back beside the legs with the palms facing up. Relax your shoulders completely, and we'll take 3 breaths here. So you're looking back. The tip of your forehead is on your mat. Breathing deeply here. On your next inhale, we're just going to slide the hands back beside the knees. And I want you to gently press into your hands and roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time, where your head comes up last. All right. I want you to find your feet hip distance apart. So your feet are hip distance. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. Bring your feet to hip distance apart and spread your toes nice and wide. And then bend the knees in and out a few times. And then think about your body being nice and fluid here. So you don't want to lock your knees, but just put a slight bend in your knees. And you'll notice when you put that slight bend in your knees that your tailbone sort of drops. It helps to bring your spine into more of a neutral alignment. And then draw your shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head, and then just drop your hands down next to your sides with your palms facing forward. Take a few breaths here and really notice the points of contact that you have on your feet. So you should feel about 4 points of contact. 2 at the heel, and 2 in the ball of the foot. And if you're feeling nice and balanced, then maybe close your eyes for a moment. And start to notice your hips in space. Take a few deep grounding breaths. Each exhale, really feeling your feet, your points of contact with the earth. And each inhale, starting to bring that earth energy up through the soles of your feet, through the core of your body. 1 more breath here. From here, let's inhale the arms to goalpost position. Keep your fingers spread nice and wide here. Elbows are about shoulder height. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. And on your next inhale, I'd like for you to start to lift your heart. And then maybe bring the gaze toward the ceiling, or even just at a higher height to the wall in front of you. And then exhale, come back to center. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Lift the gaze. Exhale, come on back to center. It's a very small movement here. Let's go one more time. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Lift the gaze. As long as you're feeling nice and stable here. And then exhale back to center. Go ahead and drop your hands back down by your sides. Give a few shoulder rolls back and forward. Shake out the hands a little bit. This time, it's going to be a little hard to see my hands maybe from here, but I want you to bring your arms overhead and keep your hands so that they're shoulder distance apart, and then just relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, ground down through all four corners of your feet. And on your next inhale, I want you to side bend to your right. So you're starting to press that left hip towards the side wall. And then maybe gaze towards the armpit and take a breath or two here. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. Inhale, side bend to your left. Maybe gazing towards the right armpit. And then inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop your arms back down by your sides. Give a few shoulder rolls from here, back and forward. And from here, bringing your hands to heart center. We'll move right into a nice tree pose from here. So maybe from here, you can start to really ground down and into all four corners of your left foot. Take a deep breath here and then find a point of focus in the room. So find your focal point and keep your gaze on that place. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Slight bend in your left knee. And we'll start just by bringing the right heel to the left ankle, or just above the left ankle. And then just take a few breaths here. Keep your gaze on your focal point in the room. And then maybe from here, go ahead and bring, if it feels comfortable to you, see if you can bring your the right sole of your foot to your left calf muscle. If you're feeling nice and stable, nice and balanced, maybe release your hands, bring your hands out to either side. Breathe. Maybe arms to goalposts. Maybe lifting the heart. Maybe lifting the gaze. Maybe your tree is swaying in the wind. And then exhale, come on back down. Turn your left toes under. Just bring your hands to hips and turn your left toes under. Just release any tension in the bottom of your foot here. All right. So let's do the other side. So again, find your focal point in the room and go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to start to really ground down through all four corners in that right foot. Slight bend in your right knee. When you're ready and you're feeling nice and stable, bringing left heel just above the right ankle. Toes stay on your mat here, and that can help with some stability and balance. Keep your eyes fixed on your focal point. And maybe when you're ready, if it feels good to you, maybe bringing that sole of your left foot to your right calf muscle. Never on the knee here. Maybe release your hands. Maybe you feel a little more balanced on one side than the other. That's okay. Maybe inhaling arms to goal pose. Maybe inhaling, lifting the heart. Maybe lifting the gaze slightly. And then exhale, release. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes under and just start to release any tension, any cramping that you might be feeling in that right foot. Let's try one more variation of tree pose. You can keep your hands on your hips here. You can bring your hands to your heart center, wherever your hands feel most comfortable, wherever you feel most balanced. Find your focal point. Find all four corners of your feet. You can just move around a little on the soles of your feet. All right, so when you're ready, on your next inhale, start to make your way onto your toes. So we're lifting the heels. We're coming up onto the toes. We're nice and balanced here. Maybe we release the hands out to either side. Maybe you're feeling super balanced here. You can even use a wall if that feels better to you. Maybe you're feeling really balanced and you want to bring your arms directly overhead. Take your time. Breathe. And then exhale, release. Bring your hands back to your hips. We'll do a little just releasing any cramping in the feet by turning the toes under. All right. So from here, I'd like to come into this is a variation of hand to big toe pose. And I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what I'm doing here. So this is another balancing pose. You can also use a wall if you'd like. Just lean up, lean your back against the wall, nice and strong here. We're going to inhale, lift your right knee to hip height. And then flex your foot. And if your hip starts to come up, drop your hip. So hips are nice and square. And then maybe from here, inhale the arms overhead if you're feeling balanced. Inhaling the arms overhead for 3 breaths. The idea is the same, that we are feeling all 4 corners in the foot that we're balancing on. Maybe you want to bring your hands to goal pose. Maybe that's a little more comfortable for you. And then exhale, hands to hips. Bring your foot back down to your mat. Turn your left toes under to release any cramping. And we'll do the other side. So finding your feet hip distance once more. Spread your toes. Find all 4 corners of your feet. Hands are on the hips for just a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. A focal point here is good. I'm going to turn to face you this time so you can see what it looks like from the side and then from the front. So when you're ready and feeling balanced, start to inhale. You're balancing into that right foot. You're going to inhale, lift your left knee to hip height. If you feel that your hip is lifting as well, just drop your hip so that your hips are nice and square here. And then from here, maybe arms come out to the side. Maybe inhale the arms overhead. Think about your focal point. Maybe you're using a wall here. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. And then exhale, release. Turn your right toes under. Release any cramping from here. All right. From here, we'll go right into chair pose. So I'm going to turn to the side here so that you can see what this looks like from the side. Your feet are hip distance. We're going to inhale and bring the arms out in front at shoulder height. Put a slight bend in your knees. Your gaze is forward. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to start to sit back as if you're going to sit into a chair. So you don't want to arch your back, but sort of drop your tailbone as if you're going to sit down in a chair. And then you should be able to still see your toes. So your knees should not be over your feet. Breathe. And then inhale, make your way back up to standing. You can start to shake out the legs from here. All right. Bring your hands back to your hips. Find your mountain pose once more. Feet are nice and grounded. All four corners of the feet, our toes are spread nice and wide. Drawing the shoulders back and down. We're going to inhale the arms out in front at shoulder height. Palms are facing each other. Inhale. Exhale and really ground down through all four corners of your feet. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Exhale and start to sit back. Again, try not to arch your back here, but we're sort of tucking the tailbone. Breathing. And then inhale your way back up to standing. Bring your hands to your hips. Shake out your legs. All right. So from here, this is where we're going to bring the chair into our practice today. And I'm just going to show you a few poses that you can do using the chair. And these are twisting poses. All right. So we're going to start with a revolved triangle pose. So we're going to stand with the cushion of the chair or the seat of the chair facing us. And you're just going to step your left foot towards the chair so that your toes are just under the front of the chair. And then you can even widen your stance here if you like. Your toes are pointing towards the front of your mat. And then when you're ready, and you may need to adjust your chair to wherever feels most comfortable for you, but we're gonna bring the right hand to the chair, so just under your face here. And then we're gonna start to open the heart. So a gentle twist here. We're opening. We're drawing that left shoulder back. We're keeping the right hand nice and straight here. You can keep your gaze forward. And if you're feeling stable here, maybe you can come into a bind by just bringing the left forearm to the low back. And then maybe turning your gaze over the left shoulder. Let's take 2 breaths here. Bring your hand back to your hip if it's not already there. We're going to inhale back towards the chair. You can bring both hands to the chair here. And actually, go ahead and bring the palms of your hands to the chair. And we're going to do just a fold from here. So inhale, look towards the front of the room, and then exhale, bend your elbows slightly. You may need to bend them a little more to come into deeper fold from here. And then take a few breaths with a nice long spine. You can start to look forward just slightly. Inhale, make your way back up to standing. Step your right foot back, or your left foot back. Step your right foot forward. Toes are pointing towards the front of your mat. And we're going to do the opposite side. And you may need to adjust your seat or your stance here. We're going to bring left hand to the chair this time. So just in the center of your chair. Your right hand is on your hip, and you're going to start to draw that right shoulder back to open the heart. Our gaze is maybe forward or over the right shoulder, so wherever feels good to you. Breathing. Continue breathing here with nice long exhales. And a twist, a long exhale can help you to release any toxins in the body. So take 3 breaths here. Keep breathing. Keep a nice stance. And on your next inhale, let's come on back to center. Turn back to center. Bring both hands to the chair. We're pressing down through both palms. Inhale, look forward slightly. And then exhale, start to bend into the elbows just a little. We're coming into like a half fold here. Nice long spine, so you're going to keep your gaze forward. And then gently press into your hands as you inhale your way back up to standing. All right, step your right foot back. And we can just sort of shake out the legs from here. All right, so I'm going to show you another twist here using a chair. We're going to come to just in front of our chair, and your gaze is forward. Draw your shoulders back and down. We're going to step onto our chair with the left foot. You can also use blocks here if this is too much. All right. When you're ready, we're going to bring right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And then you're going to inhale your left arm up and over. So it's a nice twist here. We're gazing over the left shoulder. And let's just take 3 breaths from here. We're keeping the heart nice and open. After your last exhale, we're going to inhale this left arm back around. And go ahead and step the left foot back down onto your mat. You can turn the right toes under, do any movements that feel good to you from here. Take your time. I'm going to do the right side from here so you get to see what it looks like from a few different angles. When you're ready, after finding your stance, after finding your balance and your gaze forward for just a moment, we're going to step the right foot onto the chair from here. Nice, strong stance into the grounding leg. We're going to bring left hand to the outside of that right thigh. And then inhale your right arm up and over. So we're opening up the heart. We're gazing over the right shoulder. If it doesn't feel good to gaze over the right shoulder, just keep your gaze forward. 3 breaths from here. Inhale as you swing that right arm back around. Step your right foot back down onto your mat. Let's move our chair out of the way. And make our way back down onto the mat into a nice seated posture. Take a moment here. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhaling through the mouth. Bring your hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for sharing this beginner practice with me this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Have a lovely day. Namaste.